Alright, let's get into this video, y'all. Let's get into this video, y'all. I had to move my semi-truck because I currently just got unloaded at Dollar General. So I had to move the semi-truck, jump on live real quick, and see if I could, come in here and spend some time with y'all real fast. All right, so I'm running a little bit behind, but I do have an analysis from, what I was looking at during the London session and last night. This right here was the first presented fair value gap. Last night during the London session, we came all the way back up. All right, we came all the way back up from bouncing off of this inversion fair value gap. Then we hit this order block, had a retracement, and then now you guys can see that this 1 hour inversion fair value gap right here is holding price. We got liquidity right here. And then we also have liquidity right here. So it looked like this liquidity right there is getting ready to be swiped. Honestly, I was looking to see if we was going to have some more momentum to the downside. May remain open. I do believe on the 4 hour chart that this gap right here may remain open. If it do remain open, that would be really cool because it will make taking sales a lot easier. But we have to see what's going to happen. Don't want to jump too far ahead. On the daily time frame, for our daily bias, you guys can see that we broke out of the bottom already. So that is going to make me believe that we're not going to want to break out the top. So at the bare minimum, if you guys, me, I know I'm going to be more comfortable with sales today just because I feel like we're already almost halfway back up to yesterday's candle. So I know I'm going to be taking sales. If I wanted to be extremely safe, I would just put my stop loss at 23,400 and then take my sales. The question is, are we going to get back down below either today's low or these two daily lows right here? I don't really know if we're going to get through these two daily lows right here. I'll have to just wait and hold off on that. Let me go check Forex Factory to see if there's any news. There is no news today. We have some yellow folder news at 2 p.m. FOMC member Collins is speaking, and then members Cook is speaking as well. But that seemed really insignificant. Tomorrow we got some red folder news at 8:30. So I mean, it could happen today, but I don't really know, man. So that's my bias. We already broke out of the bottom, so I don't think we're going to break out of the top. Even though, yesterday I did tell y'all to look out for this wick on the 4-hour time frame. Where is it at? Where's my wick? Was it the 4-hour? Maybe it was the 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. I think, was it the daily? Maybe it was the daily. I can't even remember what time frame it was. Oh, maybe it was the daily. I know we're going to be looking out for this wick right here, the midpoint of this wick right here, to get touched sooner or later. But I don't think that's going to happen today. Price did come back up into this volume imbalance and had a rejection. So, like I said, I am thinking more continuation today. That's definitely what I'm thinking. Continuation to the downside. You guys can see right here, we did have a little baby sweep of this liquidity right here. Now we're getting a rejection. This candle right here made our first presented fair value gap, so we're going to put that on our chart right here. So we swept our liquidity. Now we're coming down. We're making a gap. The last thing I want to do is figure out what could I target for an exit as liquidity. I do like these little almost equal lows right here. This is the most obvious, but I think I'm going to target the low 23,000s right here. If price action can be clean, then obviously this level of liquidity right here is another target. That's about 80 points away from price. Then we have this liquidity down there as well. So I'm going to be looking for sales. We're back into the first presented fair value gap right now. We didn't touch that. So far it looks like we're going to leave that 4-hour gap open. So I am going to take a sell right now, actually. Stop loss will have to be, I feel like my stop loss will have to be, where was that 4-hour gap at? Right here. So yeah, my stop loss will have to be about 100 points almost. About 70 points. I'll put it at 250. So that's about 70 points. And then my first take profit is going to be right here, which is about a good 1-1. And then my second take profit is going to be right here, which is about a good 2-1 risk to reward. And then, if we get down here, obviously that would be nice. But so far it will be a good 2-1 just with the 1 micro right there. So far we are floating in some profits. I'm going to drop down into the 1-minute time frame so I can have a better read on this price. Like I said, we swiped that liquidity. We came down. We made a fair value gap, so that's looking really nice. On a 1 hour, I am going to be looking at this wick. I do think this could be an area where I just get out the trade if it starts to stutter step in here too much. The 1-2-2 area, we're going to keep our eye on that. So I am in the sell position right now. My entry is 23178. We was floating at maybe 20 points of profit for a little while right there, but like I said, you guys, I'm trying to at least get this first level right here where you see these pink lines at, or at least this level down here. And all of that is a bunch of swing lows on a 15-minute. You guys know I use the 15-minute to find my targets, right, for trades on for liquidity, right? So I'm going to be targeting this right here. Then we have this little low, and then this low is from maybe a week ago or so, but that's what I'm going to be looking for right now. If we leave this 4-hour gap open right here, price could very well want to move really fast to the downside, so I'm hoping that we do leave that open. But it's going to maybe take some retracements for us to fully get our move. But ultimately, I want to see this pink line stay intact. I don't want to see price go above this pink line, because that is where my stop loss is going to be. If we come up here one last time and sweep liquidity, I will be looking to add 1 micro right here on my sell, because that is very possible. Knowing how the market loves to fake people out, that is very possible. I did want to just exit out early and take that $45 of profit. I'd rather hold. It's either I'm going to hold for stop loss or hold for take profit. That's what I'm looking to do. So, like I said, it's going to be likely to want to run out this liquidity right here one more time, because this little touch right here is called a liquidity sweep. And then we're going to see one more. That's the liquidity run, right? And normally, if I'm right about this trade, the liquidity run is what should see the market start to really move pretty fast. What's up, Melissa Naomi? Happy Hum Day. Happy Hum Day to you. Appreciate you for tapping in. It's good to see you again. Man, maybe I should have added when it was right there and I was coming back down. That's kind of... That is one thing I always struggle with, like knowing where to add, trying to get my average price to a good price without over leveraging. I struggle with that all the time, so I'm trying to be really patient. I really do feel like it's going to come up here at least one more time. It don't have to, but I think it will. I would prefer to see it sweep this at least one more time. So far, I really don't like how it gave us this sweep of liquidity, came out right here, made the, displacement, made the fair value gap, but it's not, clean, right? Price isn't holding it all the way. It pretty much almost invalidated this fair value gap almost immediately. So I do think it's trying to fake some people out. I'm trying to hold the door on my bias. I'm going to maybe just add one more micro right here and then wait, because if we run right up here, then I'll have to close the trade for a loss. So I may add one micro up here, and then once it starts to give me a better confirmation, I might just add one more micro in there and have 3 micros total and just see if I can ride this trade out for the rest of the day. All right, we're getting up here. This is honestly good enough for me. I'm going to add one right here. Now my average went from like a 170 area to now 23,200. So that was a good little add right there. We just swept right here. You know what? I'm going to add the last one up here as well, because if it just goes right up here, I'm just going to close the trade. But if we can start rejecting again, that'll be really good. Like I said, this right here is about a 101. Since it's a better entry now, it's probably a little bit over a 101. But then this area down here is going to be a 2-to-1 for my entry. I want to see this line right here stay intact. I want to see this line right here stay intact. Meaning I don't want to see price go above this line. If it goes above, then I'll just close this for a loss. Then that means I have to throw my entire analysis out the window. I'm watching from the 4-hour time frame. I am not sure if it's going all the way to the top of that 4-hour. Maybe you can check it out, but your risk management, so it sounds good so far. Yeah, that's actually the time frame that I was looking at. I don't know what time you was able to join the video, but pretty much my whole analysis is coming from the time frame right now. I'm taking sales with the ideal that this gap is going to be left open. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know for sure. So that's why my stop loss is right here at the bottom of this gap, right? Because I'm looking for that to be left open. And I'm also taking my sales with the ideal of the daily bias. We broke out of the bottom yesterday. Today we broke out of the bottom first on the daily time frame. So that leads me to believe that we're not going to break out the top of the daily. It normally takes a really, crazy type of market to do all of that, like NFP week or something like that. So, I could have put my stop loss up here if I wanted to be more safe, but I wanted to have more of a realistic stop loss. So that's where my trade is coming from. It's coming from the 4-hour right here. If we leave this open, I think price is going to start to move really fast, going to the downside. And then obviously on a 1-minute chart, we have this first presented right here, right? So the next thing I'm looking for, I want to see a break below this first presented fair value gap retest, and then let's start moving in the right direction. So far, we up about 30 points right now. We getting some good melt action. That's exactly what I wanted to see. We just ran out this liquidity, right? And by the way, you guys, I do have a video on the difference between the liquidity sweep, which is what we seen right here, and the liquidity run. A liquidity sweep is where the wick just comes right above that liquidity, and then the liquidity run is where you see the bodies, right? The bodies will close above that liquidity when you see a liquidity run, and typically after the run is where you're going to start to see the move happen. I want to see this first presented whole price down, and let's start getting this little move, so we can start getting this little move on. But you know, it's a choppy market, I guess. So let's see. I want to try to really be patient, see if I can, you know, I almost closed the trade right there for the 180, but I want to really be patient and see if I'm going to actually be right. You know, if I'm going to close my trade, I at least want to take out this swing low right here before I close. So I'm just going to be patient. So far, everything is working out the way I drew it up. We're now hitting the midpoint of this range right here. So that's why I got my Fibonacci on there, just to continue to read price live. Because I was just up 45, then I was just up 180. So that, you know, I don't want to keep being up profits and not locking them in. But I'm really trying my hardest to be patient with this trade, you guys. So are we going back up here again to sweep some more liquidity? I mean, what's going on? See, this is why it's so important to manage risk properly, because otherwise I would have been either A, forced to take profits, or B, I would have been freaked out when it came back against me. But when you at least manage your risk well, it gives you an opportunity to at least be able to trust your trade and give it some time to do all of the fake outs that the market loves to do. I'm not saying that I'm going to be right on this position or on this entry or this idea, but so far it is looking good. I'm just trying to wait for at least take profit number 2. But it already faked me out twice. I was up $45, then I was up 185, didn't lock it in. So the next time around, unless we start really seeing some big moves to the downside, I'm probably going to be looking to take my profits and be done for the day. Don't want to get too fancy. Even if you draw up a nice trade idea and it's working and ICT concepts are amazing, you still don't always want to get too fancy, especially when you're doing the prop firm challenge. A lot of these futures prop firms really force you to take profits anyway. So, when you see some profits on your chart, the best thing for you to do is just to take the profits. All right, so let me tell you guys what happened, right? Because I know I said I don't want to see it touch this pink line, but I'm still not going to be worried. I called the trade out in Telegram, and I'm going to use at least 100-point stop loss. So my stop loss is actually 23,300, because it very well can sweep this liquidity, touch the lower end of that gap, and then continue to the downside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. This is why I got 3. This is why I'm using 3 micros. I'm going for at least 100 to 150 points to take profit. I'm sorry, I'm going for at least 100, maybe 200 points to take profit with a 100-point stop loss. So that's my risk to reward. That's my trade idea. It's already on. The only thing that will make me close this trade is if we really start to get bullish. But even then, I'm not going to be too worried. I'm really confident in this trade so far. I think I just have to wait it out and relax. literally trying to let my clock reset.
No, I understand. Just park at the bottom of the road because we don't have any overnight parking and you can't stay in this.
Okay, no, I wasn't going to stay. I was just trying to, because I came here at an awkward time. Like, I had a delivery last night, and I had to come this morning. But it's just like, it's not a full reset. It's, you know, when they do the split clock stuff?
Yeah.
And mine's are, it's like literally, like, I'm almost done.
I have about 5 more trucks.
I know, but like, my whole day is dependent on this clock.
I understand.
So if I move this truck, it's going to literally, if I can just wait, can I just wait 30 more minutes? I promise you I'm not going to stay here forever.
If there's no room.
If there's no room, I'll just get up and go.
All right.
Promise you.
No problem.
Thank you. Man, bro, they giving me a hard time, bro. They giving me a hard time, bro. I'm trying to just look, I'm trying to trade and chill with the peoples, but they talking about I gotta move my truck. No, bro. We not moving the truck right now. We trading right now. All right, come on, man. Hurry up and hit that TP, man. Hurry up and hit that TP, man. So we got this little bit of liquidity that we're looking at right here. Then we got this. Come on, man. I'm about to hold the door even harder now. I'm still looking for a price to get under this first presented. I'm not going to be happy until we get under this first presented fair value gap. And retest and then start to crash below. So that's what I'm looking for. We need to make that happen immediately. They trying to put me out. I'm trying to trade and be on live with y'all, but they trying to put me out the parking lot, man. Come on. I might actually look to add right here, but I want to see a retest and I want to see, I don't want to see too much of a retest. All right, never mind. Look like we might just go straight down without the retest. All right, here come the retest. Come on. You can do it. Bam, right there. I'm going to add some right here. I'm going to add 6. Now I got 6 altogether. Hopefully I don't get faked out because we all know I'm the king of getting faked out, especially when I add into my trade. But all I'm looking for is at least this right here. Maybe can we at least get this down here, maybe? I'm not asking for too much out here, man. Hurry up, man. I got things to do, people to see, places to be. Hurry up, hit that take profit so we can get up out of here. I'm only up about 20 points right now. At least give me 20 more points so I can be happy. Bro, at least give me this little low down here so I can be happy, man. Thank you. Can we go ahead and get there? Make it happen real fast for me? See what happened when you got to trade while you working? You can't even trade in peace. Now, I was going to hold door. Now I can't even hold door no more. I got to consider getting out the trade so I can move my truck. This is the reality of being a truck driver that's also a trader. Man, why is it doing all of this stutter step action? I'm getting ready to close. If they don't give me my profits and give them to me soon, I'm about to close this and be done for the day. Well, it's just all about back testing it. Like if you use the first presented fair value gap enough, eventually you start learning how to use it. But right now it's starting to be a little bit unreliable for me. How did I know as soon as I add to my trade, now it's going to want to pull it back. So, but yeah, you just have to back test it, and That's what anything that you learn how to use in trading. You want to back test it first. Bro, where are we going? Why are we coming back? We got an inversion right here, but it's like, why do we even need to go back to this inversion? This happens every time, y'all. Every time I'm in the trade, this is what happens. Now, I guarantee you, if I close this trade right now, it's about to fly to take profits. That's normally how I'm not making this up, y'all. When I close my trades, it flies to take. It literally, it's like he's out the trade, y'all. Let's go. It's time to go, and it's gone. That's how it is, bro. See, just because I even mentioned closing it, now it's leaving. It's like, yeah, he's right, y'all. Look, let's pull it back. So let me give y'all a quick update on everything that I'm looking at real fast. My bad about getting a little bit quiet, you guys. I had to check in with my job and see where they want me to go next. So I am looking at this 5 minute gap right here, and I am hoping that it holds. Price is a little bit funky today, doing me dirty. But if we break above this high, I'm just going to close my trade, take the loss, and be done for the day. So far I was in profits 3 different times, never took the profit. So, let that be a lesson learned. Take profits. When you get an opportunity to take profits, take profits. But I'm hoping that I can still hold out on this trade because I do feel like we're going to eventually hit my targets. I just don't know if I got enough time to, sit in this trade, and then B, am I over leveraged? Because I was supposed to only have 3 micros. I tried to get fancy and add 3 as we was coming down, but they pulled the old switcheroo on me, man. So I'm kind of torn right now in between starting work and just saying screw it, take this loss and just be done, or should I wait a little while longer to see if this 5 minute is going to hold? But it's looking like we're going to just go up here and take out this high, even though I know if we do, it's going to likely be a fake out. It's just still annoying, bro. This type of price action is not what I want to sit through all day. I got things to do. So, if y'all hear that noise in the background, that is my semi truck. Like I said, I'm gonna have to try to maybe manage this while I'm on the road. Probably not the best idea, but I can close the trade from my phone as well. So if it gets too out of hand, I'll just close and be done for the day. A bit disappointed with how everything played out. I do feel like I may get faked out of this trade, but I'm slightly over leveraged right now, so it is what it is, man. This is trading. This is how trading goes sometimes. So let's get it. Everything is live. Y'all see me be in profits 3 different times. Didn't take the trade, so hey, drop a like, man. Drop a like if y'all appreciate the grind. bag for you?
Yeah, you know, man. Where do you want it at?
Just up top right here is fine.
Okay. There you go, man.
Thank
You have
you.
a good day,
Take
man.
care. You too, man. that fake out.